Thank you for tuning back in to Les View, where we're here to talk about the current issues and what's affecting our community every day. Today we're going to be talking about an international issue that really deals with our brothers and sisters across the waters in Africa. About the Ugandan Anti-Homosexuality bill that was proposed in October 2009 that would broaden the criminalization of those who identify as LGBT, for those who are HIV positive, and for those who engage in sexual relations with those folks under 18 years old. So the Parliament Speaker, Edward Sekandi, has said that most recently, even after there's been much debate from many human rights activists, that the bill will not be pulled and that it has to go forward and have its proper procedures. So this thing really upsets me. I'm really dedicated to knowing about our African history, and Uganda is not the only country that this is really affecting. There's 37 African countries on the continent that this is affecting, and so I have to take a moment just for myself. Y'all can talk about it because it really it brings up that much anger within me that this type of thing would be happening. So I don't understand. I do understand, but I don't understand.
What do you feel like they can do differently?
I think that the most important thing right now that would be that could happen over there is that I don't feel like they have enough support over there, and I know that there's a fear factor, of human rights activists, LGBT activists from the Americas coming over to to help and to actually help organize around these different issues. There's fear happening. There's there's lots of violence that happens over on the African continent around this, and a lot of this I believe is being driven. This is my personal belief, but there are many commentators who have wrote about this, that the religious right wing folks are going over and they're spreading Christianity, which we're not talking anything negative about Christianity as a way of living, but these right wing folks are going over to this African continent and they're spreading this, this Christianity that says that if you're something other, then you're not right. So if you do identify as LGBT, then you're wrong. And so now this type of mentality is being set in the minds of those folks over there in Africa, and they've kind of taken this on. And so now we see these bills coming forth that's going on in Uganda and Nigeria and different places like that. And so I don't know. It's like I'm ready to get on the first flight over to Africa. I wish I could tomorrow, but what would that really take? You know what I'm saying? To make changes over there, or to even help initiate change over there.
Take an act of God, really.
You think so?
Ah, yeah, I do.
And we want God in everything, I guess.
Yeah. It would take an act of God for those people.
They want to kill people that have HIV. They have just as many straight people over there as gay people that suffer from HIV or AIDS.
Absolutely.
So what are you going to do? Kill everybody? That's
Africa's a very rich country, and if we do kill everybody, it does give our counterparts the opportunity to come in with capitalism and destroy Africa the same way they have destroyed America.
Now that's so true.
So, in that regard, HIV is a man-made disease. HIV is man-made spread. I'm pretty sure for all the time that we've been living in Africa, we really weren't sleeping with monkeys.
Yeah.
I'm really sure that there's so many Caucasian, South African natives from Africa, and how they love to, take all of our resources from Africa, our diamonds, all of our precious jewels. It's a whole new country, and it's a huge country. It'll start all over again, and why not give them another reason? If you are different, kill you. It's just the same way with cowboys and Indians. You're not a cowboy, so we try to deplete you.
My thing is, I don't see any Africans here in America fighting for as far as what's going on there. It's you and I, African Americans, who are fighting for all of the problems that are going on over there.
Yeah,
what is that saying?
But a lot of Africans that are here in America, they are so relieved that they're not there.
That they don't even want to remember what's going on.
They are very relieved.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
I'm not saying that they're ignoring what's going on or relieved that they're not there.
Right, but their family's still there.
Right.
They're, you know, their siblings, their aunts, their uncles, and not only that, it's their heritage. It's their life. You know, we know this as our heritage, our life in the U.S., but clearly we were brought here and taken away from, you know, wherever many ago. So, I mean, but so there's a pride for their country. They wanted to stop. There are coalitions to try to get that. That's why they come here, they get educations, they, you know, receive jobs, top dollar, and they send those resources back to try to make a difference in their country. Some people go back and try to fight for politics, but you can be blacklisted, your families can be killed, and, you know, it is a struggle. And I know it is an act of God that may be warranted, but the act of God and education has to come through all of us.
That's true.
But then, you know, but the people who are doing the killing we're killing one another.
Absolutely.
So
it's
we
almost they turned us on us, right? It's like, you know, it's like, you know, and I mean that's just like been repeated through history over and over and over and over and over again. So if we know this as African Americans, because, you know, your point, Cheyenne, around, you know, you don't see any Africans that are here going to actually help African brothers and sisters on the continent.
Especially within the LGBT community.
Especially within the LGBT community.
We don't see that. You don't see Indians fighting for Indians as far as being lesbian and gay. You don't see the Africans. You don't see the different nationalities fighting for any kind of help or understanding for getting more, you know.
Actually, there are quite a few coalitions for Indian Americans, and probably what we talked about on the break, where you know they've just passed laws taking sex from their wives, whether they want to or not, which is basically rape, legalizing rape. You had a group of women, lesbian women in the Indian culture, trying to protest, and they were stoned to death. So I mean,
Here or
it was there, but there were many coalitions who brought that to the forefront of the news media here to get that support, to get that backing, to talk to, and they spoke to their legislators because, hey, you know, they have you know, they pay taxes. So they're looking for that support. They're looking for the UN, the US, the UN to step in to help save the people that are going on in their countries.
It's not even heard of so much that maybe if you're looking for something like that, you don't know.
Right. I mean, there's education, right? I mean, it goes right back to education, which is why lesbian was so important, right?
Yeah, but you know, also on that front, you know, there's a lot of research and a lot of medical stuff, medicines that they have come out with. I'm quite sure sometime here in the near future there will be a cure for HIV.
Well, I believe there's already one. Well, that's my personal view. I'm just saying.
And
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
you know, and maybe, you know, an elect group of people present, you know, that hey, this is proven, this is a fact, you know. Maybe, what's the guy's name? MP Bahati is his name?
Bahati.
He had the nerve to quote, he would even kill his own son if his son was gay or had AIDS.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look at the
There's a lot of
stereotypes
people.
yes. The black community. How we don't even discuss or want to even talk about, you know, LGBT issues. You know, we don't want to even talk about gay, transgender. It's like, oh, you know, it's sort of kind of
Taboo.
It's, yeah, or it's the
And imagine that magnified on the continent of Africa, where you know there's so many other disparities that are going on. To add something else, so that would be just, you know, astronomical. And I totally get that. I tell you, I think that there's help, and I know that there's, you know, I know that there's a way that we can move forward with this, and then we're going to continue to talk about these particular issues and how this affects our brothers and sisters, because we are one. I do believe that, and I hope that we continue to use this platform to promote that as us being one. Come back and join us next week on Les View as we talk about another racy topic, stereotypes in the lesbian and gay community. And what all that means. Believe me, I'm sure we'll get really nice and juicy for you. We look forward to seeing you next week on Les View.